Yes, welcome everyone. Ohio gozaimasu. Another video here from the Tokyo Real Estate Man. And you can see we're back here in Tokyo today, but we're in the outskirts of Tokyo, the hinterland of Tokyo in Hachioji, as you see, the one, the Hachioji. A very well placed Hachioji because it has great transportation. It's on the edge of Tokyo, but it has great transportation. This is, of course, is the Chuo line right here. And then here, you'll see here in this area right here, coming. This is the Yokohama line, and it accesses Yokohama very well, and it would come down here. So it's got really great transportation, and it sits here on the edge of the Kanto Plain. You see that like coming up here into Takasaki, like here is Saitama up here, and then the Kanto Plain comes up here into this is Maebashi right there, and Takasaki here to the north, and this is sort of the edge of Saitama here at Kawagoe. And it sits here on in the edge just before the mountains, and here is Fuji here in the south. Anyway, we'll cut to some pictures here of Hachioji, and this it really explains it really well. It sits here on this sort of foothills before like uh, these sort of the mountain pass between that sits between Tokyo and Shizuoka, or in between Shizuoka, really close to here actually. But this picture on this person's Instagram explains it very, very well. You see it, but you can also see here that in pictures like this, that there is still like a very sort of big downtown or urban sort of area in Hachioji as well. Uh, it says Kaigo. This is interesting here. Kaigo is a care home. So this in Hachioji, with the aging of the Japanese society. Oreka, you see the older person there, probably taking advantage of the cheaper land, and been able to build very up to date facilities for families to get to. And Hachioji, a very popular place for people to live because it's a cheap place. It's a great lifestyle. You see there's the Chuo line, of course, with the famous orange right there. There is a cute little Instagram model. That's always nice there. You can see a lot of here. That would be a picture of the downtown of Hachioji. I'm treating Hachioji like it's some sort of country bumpkin place, but it's not. It's probably bigger population than Vancouver City itself, where I am right now. Ramen right there. There's some monkeys there as well. You can see the pool full. This is an interesting one. This is Takao-san, which is a great tourism spot here in Hachioji. And there is a mountain walk or a mountain, lots of mountain hiking here. If you're a person that's into hiking and outdoor life, then Hachioji might be the place for you. And this is the Takao-san ropeway, and this is the bottom of the hill. And you can get the ropeway, which is the chairlift. Sorry, my Japanese is slipping over into my English. Ropeway Takao-san way made dekimasu yo. Okay. And what else? There we see it again, the Takao-san, and then we can. When you go there, there's a great, like, little kind of fun Japanese outdoor shopping mall, and they might even be selling I forget these sort of ice creams there. There's another nice picture. I can remember that as you come up toward Hachio, like Takao-san, there's this beautiful river there. So it is a really nice place to live. Right there, there's the models again coming up. I'll get off those pages though for you, and we'll get here to some solid real estate. Today we're going to look at this. There's lots of sort of stuff. There's about 700 places for sale right now in Hachioji. So the market actually has a lot of sort of supply. The very bottom end of the market, which I would consider the really terrible stuff, is about at the 400 mon level. And this is a place here with about that's really well placed in a really great neighborhood for about 800 mon. And I thought we could look at that one. Anyway, here's the property right there. I found it on the Google Maps right there. There it is on the Google Maps provided by the site. And you can see the character of the neighborhood right there, just like that. Very neat, nice, clean neighborhood, like a suburban Japanese neighborhood. There would be no drug addicts, no theft. If you're sort of pissed off with some of this, like uh, lack of like discipline, you can call it, with Western society, or the streets are awash with drugs, this could be a place for you. We'll get here to the top right here. I better to remember to share the listing right here. Uh, and this is it right here. It's priced at 800 bond right there. And we'll go to the first picture of the listing, which is the layout. It's a two-level house right there, this being the bottom level, and this is the parking area right here. There you are right there. Go through the pictures quickly. That's the Genkan. the Genkan inside, Genkan looking at the front door, toilet up to date. Likely, you can tell there was likely an older person living here, and maybe they're selling the house. Maybe they moved to the Kaigo home, and the kids want to sell it. The bathroom looks to be working, and it looks to be here like there's a what this is a actually a drying room, and you can use it. You can you see this one says like console, and then you can use the a lot of the time, like a lot of rooms like this will have a drying fan on top that's a heated drying fan and will circulate air through there so you can dry your clothes inside if you'd like. There's the kitchen, the going upstairs. It looks like you can almost probably take possession of this house with everything in it. I would bet they just give it to you if you'd like it, and you could start your lifestyle probably with everything you needed to live at first. No question about it. Okay, there you have. They're pointing out the parking again, and it is really at a bargain, or really near land value, and you'd get a house for near land value. Uh, I showed you. I didn't get a chance to show you because I think I forgot to share my tab. But it's just a Japanese suburban neighborhood that it sits in right there, and you would basically want for nothing. We'll go quickly here to the map, and you'll see that the supermarket is a 5 minute walk away. This convenience store here is a 5 minute walk away. There's a total walkway here along this river right here, if you'd like. We'll try to we can back the picture up so you can see where it sort of sits. Definitely the operations of a town like this work really well with the K car. And if we go back down here, if I drop this golden the Google Maps golden guy into anywhere into this neighborhood here, you'll see that most of the houses have parking here. And see, there's a new build, by the way, and that's an important point because what happens here with the housing stock, it's constantly in transition. Something gets old now here from the 70s and the 80s, it's torn down, and they build a new one. Okay, this one was probably built within the last 10 years. And so is this one here. So the land that you're buying here has demand in it. Looks like this one was built in the 1990s. So it's constantly in a state of like movement, like or a flow. I've talked about it in videos before how I love the ideas of flow. And then you can see that that is one here and probably from the late 80s right there. So everything's in flow. And then you'll see that there's a garden here. This might be this person's house with a garden. Uh, it's interesting because you will see a lot of farmland like this. That's old farmland that'll just end up in the suburban neighborhood that you're in. And this is Japanese land use. These might even be commercial, and the commercial could on the level that they're just they own this land. They like to have the land, and they will sell these vegetables out their front door, and then people will just drop a coin in and pick it up right in front of their door. I don't know if that's necessarily the case, but I'm guessing that these owners of this house right here, looks to be this house was built in the last 5, 6, 7 years. Here's three-car parking, and this is likely their garden right here. They could be just keeping the vegetables for themselves, but that gives you an idea of the neighborhood, and it works really well. You can see here that's a K truck right there, and you'll see there that that's a K car right there. It's not a K car because it's not a yellow plate. The K car has a yellow plate, but you'll see if we go down the street any further, there'll be a lot of sort of there right there is a mini K. Looks to be a mini K Delica, for example. Okay, so it'll give you an idea of what it's like in that neighborhood for that. In terms of the domestic audience right now, should anyone would ever like to finance anything like uh, this is basically it. You could basically live in this house with a mortgage payment of 22,000 yen a month, or what, $150 a month would be your mortgage payment. Your interest portion of that, of course, would be 3,000. So in all effect, you'll be living in this house for the cost of 3,000 yen a month, which is $1 a day. It just makes so much sense. We can come down here. We could say that you'd probably need a down payment of 200 mon to get this house. Okay. And we could up this rate up to 1.85%, which of course is 35 flat right there, 1.86, good enough. And you can see you'd be living in this house, okay, for 20,000 yen a month. is unbelievable. It gets me so angry because uh, it's just such great opportunity in Japan for people. And your drag, I would say your drag, including your property tax, would be about $100 a month to live there, and your utilities. It just makes sense. And you're in a neighborhood with demand where you can turn around and sell it. Okay, because we know by looking at these pictures or the other pictures, like we looked at in the neighborhood pictures here of the listing, that uh, it's in a constant state of being rebuilt. This is 1981, but this land has demand, in that someone would want to pick this one up, even for its land value, because you can put a parking space in there and rebuild it. Or another option, because it's very popular right now, if you can rebuild this yourself, uh, in terms of like internally, and rebuild it and make it nice and stylish, someone would buy it and you could flip it, and you wouldn't lose any of your money. That is my that's my interpretation. Look at the cost right now. And I will not forget to share my tab, as this is take three of this video. This house, $52,000. But let's go down US dollars. You want to buy it cash outright. If you wanted to finance it, and it's just so amazing to me, your mortgage payment in US dollars would be $131 a month. The drag, the drag on it was, I called it 10,000 yen a month, including property tax. To live in this house with all the drag of you, the cost of living is $65 a month. The it's basically free. This is how you make it. And if you were a remote person, you owned a house like this, and you were able to work in Japan, like live in Japan and work anywhere else in the world, taking that other portion of money you wanted, you could invest it in so many other sort of things. And that's what's so attractive about the Japanese and the Hachioji uh, market space. As we look at some more pictures, this one here is a little bit on the Instagram here, was something a little bit nicer, and you can see it's a little bit nicer, but it doesn't see in that wall is nice, but it doesn't look to be having any sort of any parking. This is from, I guess, Cheap Houses Japan. It didn't look to be having any parking spot though. Oh, is that a parking spot right there? Maybe it is. Maybe it is. I'm not sure. So this is a portion of the marketplace. Okay, that's a little bit nicer, a little bit more upmarket than that one right there. It looks to me that there's a parking spot there in that building. So even if you're interested in getting something a little bit upmarket, that's interesting too. And this one was totally rebuilt. This is what I was talking about. How they've rebuilt it in a standard fashion. You could do this too. You could make it nicer. Anyhow, this house, or these houses like this one here I brought up today, offer the most in U-turnability. So when you're getting something like this, that's what you're getting. You're getting an option. You're getting an option. And when you get some of the stuff in places where there is less demand, and the less demand means the population isn't moving there, or the population doesn't see a future there, that's where you don't want to buy, because that's when you're stuck with a house you can never sell. We talked about it in that one video yesterday in what was it called, Nagahama. Anyhow, another video here from the Tokyo Real Estate Man. If you're ever interested in a property in Tokyo, I invite you to come here to the website, tokyorealestateman.website, and the contact box is finally working. Thank you for taking the time to follow this channel, and always a pleasure to make these videos, and it's very interesting for me to make it. 本当にこのチャンネルみんな応援するとコメントか、あたかいの話いつもコメントでありがとうございます。Thank you for watching, and このビデオこれで終わりです。